Okay, well, the chat is back. I lost my old chat, which sucks. Wing is a great equalizer. That was my chat room. Rest in pieces, sir. Shaggy, Womp. Yeah, Womp is right. I did catch a few of that. There was Jedi guy saying he agrees with that stuff. I did call the judge at my local event. Unfortunately, because it's a casual game, people think that new type challenges are also casual because there's only $1,000 on the line. That people should, you know, the judges just don't do their job, I guess, sometimes, what I was saying. Yeah, Eddie, what's up? Okay, we just wait till everybody jumps back in here, I guess. Let's just get into a game. Anyone whose messages I did not cover can just drop your messages again in chat. And we'll see how that goes. I'm going to stick with the same deck for now, since it's been doing fine. Yeah. Sucks the stream went down there. We lost our 60 viewers. We're now down to 4 people. That's right. We'll get back up there. Alright. Always going second. Just gonna run a few games. Definitely don't want this because I want those cards in my shield area. What deck you playing? I am playing Wing. There's a whole hour-long stream that I covered a bunch of stuff on today, but then our internet went down, so just put the stream back up. Don't got anything to really play here. Just gonna pass a turn. Skip playing. The problem with NTCs is Bandai considers them level 1 casual events. Doesn't require judge or strict enforcement of rules. Yeah, exactly. That's my problem with it. Is that NTCs are like their most competitive events, and without NTCs, the Gundam, if the NTC trading collector cards or winner cards were not worth $500 to $1,000, whatever, then nobody would be playing Gundam, because most of the NTC players, most of them, like the competitive players, don't even go to locals. They don't go to locals because there's pretty much nothing to win, and it's not worth their time to go play 3-4 games at their local scene. Like, it's better for them just to wait for new type challenges, go try to win it, and then take another, like, you know, month off of Gundam, because the Gundam trading card game, like when you play Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Riftbound, I want to go play my locals because I want to go play the game. It's fun to go play the game. When in a Gundam, I don't want to go play Gundam at my locals because it's not a fun thing to play, basically. It's something that I'm just doing because I can. Let's use this. I don't need to ramp too much here, so we're just gonna discard the bird mode. I don't want to. Discarding Striker Pack is what I would normally do, so let's get rid of that. So, it's wild considering the value of prizing NTCs? Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that the only reason that Gundam is doing anything right now, I'm gonna be honest, if NTCs stopped tomorrow, who is playing Gundam? If NTCs are not a thing, if they do not give you a prize card, etc., who is playing Gundam at the local card store? Like, really, who is going to any tournament events? Nobody, because it's all a waste of time. It's not a fun game to go play and do really, really well in. Like, you're really just playing Gundam as a pickup game, essentially. That's how I view it. Do I want to go really aggressive on him? Not really. Do I want to play blockers? Yes. Do I want to attack with Death Scythe? Yes. New types aren't serious at all. You see somebody post like this deck, a new type, and then you see it was a 30% event, only 3 rounds or something. Yeah, obviously in certain places, in certain locations and places, new types are gonna be like a lot less players and stuff. The problem is that the only value in Gundam trading card game is new type challenges, pretty much. And new type challenges, when you have an event like a new type challenge, I feel like it should be a, you know, not everybody's tournament's gonna be max players and stuff, but it should be a competitive event because, well, the prizing is there, and so it should be competitive. I mean, it's a new type challenge. I mean, that's how it is. If you're a new type, I would think that a new type is something that's competitive, not your casual locals. What do I want to do here? I need to draw more cards. I need to play some stuff. I'm just gonna go aggressive. I don't really care at this point. I don't know what the hell he wants to do. I'm gonna keep swinging at him, do as much damage as possible. Gonna play a Death Scythe, swing this into his face as well. Not worry about anything at all. Then I'm gonna end the turn. Yeah, the decks that can win it, new types are basically anybody can win, especially if your local scene is very weak, or if your local scene is like 10 players. Someone mentioned on, I think, Reddit or Facebook that blockers shouldn't exist and every unit should be able to block every unit. That's not true. That's just a, you don't have to go down that route. That's a route. But in those games, you have HP. You don't have like the shield burst mechanic. You also don't have, I mean, there's things like walls and Magic the Gathering. But we don't want to go down that route. Because if you look at Digimon has blockers. They have archetypes. Even in Gundam, the problem is that blocker slop and one drop GM's trash should not exist in the game. Right? I understand if your deck is playing a lot of blockers because you ultimately gain extra abilities like in Digimon, where if your blockers get to do more things or you get to power them up or so on. I completely get that. Or your entire design is to be a more defensive deck. I get that. If you're playing a blocker deck, it makes sense your deck is much more defensive. And that's cool. I'm cool with that. But by design, your deck's win condition should not be to just simply play as many blockers. And by design, your default answer to how can I win games should not be playing the weakest units in the game times 22 of them. Right, that's basically it. Gundam's a lot of fun when you're playing all of the other decks, and it's not so much fun when you're playing to aggro or blocker swap. Those two things in particular are not fun to play against. They're very, very unfun and, yeah, irrelevant. I swear no one who knew the rules. We had issues at NTCs before, so it would be a judge competition before the run event. Yeah, the problem is that the local store, from my store at least, might say like, oh, it's totally fine. And at the regional events as well, right? A judge at the regional event could also just make up his own rulings or whatever, and it's a Bandai event, so everybody can get away with a lot more things because it's a lot more casual. Unlike Riftbound's not casual. Their game is actual judges and rules and all this stuff. Let's play this. Perfect. Got a wing 0. I was like, that's an interesting thought. Yeah, it's not too interesting of a thought because they're just trying to make it towards how Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh is, I guess. And that's there's reasons why they have that in Yu-Gi-Oh where you must attack the unit first to get to the HP, and like in Magic, because that's their safety system, that's their defense mechanism in their game. While in Gundam, our defense mechanism is obviously, one, having the keyword blocker, but two, it's having the shields. The shield being able to impact the board and having bases ultimately acts as our defensive mechanism, which is why we don't need every single card to have the blocker keyword. Okay, what do I want to do here? I want to play another Lifrith, and I'll deal with that white base eventually. Question is when. can't really deal with it right now. We're just gonna have to go block, 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 block. Take out the white base at some point. Sadly, in my country, we don't have NTCs, but we have locals with the winter packs as prizing in packs. Yeah. Wish Hall. Where are you playing Wish Hall? I don't think, like, I know India has a scene. This guy's going Gundam Amuro into my base. Well, I'm not gonna allow that to happen, so let's just block that immediately. Look how long this like takes for me to press escape, bro. Did stream die? Yes, how? Stream did die. We lost 60 viewers. We are now down to 12 viewers, unfortunately, but we'll be coming back up as I'm the only one who streams Gundam 24/7. One thing I liked in Dragon Ball Master is the fact that every time you hit live, they drew a card, and in the game, your hand was equal to your offensive or defensive combo. Yeah, exactly, right. So a lot of the Bandai games have mechanics already built in, and they're really reliant on the shield system. Damn, this sucks. They're relying on the shield system, and that's why I think that this game does not need every single unit to be a blocker, because there's already this whole shield system exists for that reason. So you had serious questions if hitting life was the right move because it gave more resources. Gundam trading card game has very little of those types of decisions and only versus specific colors like red. Red, white, pilots, right? Blue is a big one. Blue is a very big one because blue, when you play into the decks like the O or Unicorn, Bannerger, the pilots make a big difference when you're playing into like those decks. So it's not even about is aggro going to give you a lot of cards. It's about, are you going to give them the armor ray, the Bannerger links that they need to basically do a lot of work. I think we should be okay here, but we might be very close to being dead. Let's get rid of the Gundam, because that's the most scariest thing, obviously. And then we can survive here. Maybe we can hit a base. We can be good to wing 0 his board. That sucks. Hope they do come back. Yeah, sure. We're back up to 18, so we just need 40 more people in the chat. We'll be happy. We did win our last game, so welcome back, everybody. If anybody dropped questions in that I didn't answer before the stream closed, just let me know. Come on, give me some cards. There we go. Graceful demeanor. Bounce the token. Bounce this GM. Get those cards out of here. So yeah, they basically, the whole burst mode mechanism, all my burst mode decks, right? Even in Japan right now, somebody playing Wing or Ultron with all 12 burst cards. Those decks were very powerful because, you know, Bandai has given us the shield mechanic in multiple games. Bandai has given us the shield mechanic and burst mechanic in this game as well. And all we have to do is realize that we need to realize that we need to use it. The problem is that I don't want the game to turn into every single card in our shields as a burst ability. I don't think they did a very good job of making sure that we are safe from 1-drops. Okay, I hope I get a wing 0 again, because I mean I have blockers at least, but yeah, it's kind of hard. Yeah, I'm just dead. I only have 2 blockers, which is not enough. Okay, let's fix up this deck in a bit. But let's get back to chat. So Bandai basically has given us this shield mechanic. We need to use it. People don't use it correctly. In other Bandai game, people who play other Bandai games should understand that one of the only ways to survive in these games is through the shields. And even in Gundam that the shield RNG can really make or break a game all of a sudden, which is very annoying. And Bandai wants everybody. They want everybody to be able to win their games, whether you're a new player, old player, best player. They want everybody to have a certain chance of winning their game through RNG. And that is one of the biggest problems with Bandai games, is that they're not competitive games, they're casual games. And because everybody has a 20% chance to lose no matter what by default, it means that everybody is going to lose, and it means that you're not going to get to the top of the food chain. And it also means that everybody should be playing the best deck in the format if they want to have a good time at regionals or so on. And there is skill in every single trading card game. There's skill in everything that you do in life, whether it be making t-shirts, like being a carpenter, making the roads on the street, like whatever, right? There's skills in everything. I don't like when people bring up, oh, but there's still skill in playing aggro deck or whatever. I'm like, yeah, of course there's skill in everything, but there's a lot less skill in Bandai games. There's a lot less skill playing aggro, and so yeah. Now I like to go down the route of, let's use this mechanic that Bandai has given us. Let's try to go down the shield route, because if we do high roll, we win the game. If we have a bad hand because we're playing Gundam and most of our deck is filled with cards that we just can't play in the early game, or we need to catch up to our opponent playing like 21 drops, well, the only way to do that is to access extra cards, extra value from our shields. And if we can do that, we can turn the game around. And that ideology, playing a burst mode, burst saw deck, is powerful. People think that it's RNG. It's not RNG completely. It's not. We're not winning just solely based on RNG. We're making actual decisions in the game and in our mulligan decision and in our deck building to make sure that our deck runs smoothly and it's an actual like deck. Like in Magic the Gathering, when we had the miracle mechanic, if it was a top card that you would draw, miracle, you could play it for like 1 instead of like 10. You know, there was a certain amount of miracles you put into your deck, and you had to play for those outs of you drawing that card. I'm gonna be right back while everybody else chimes into the chat room. I'm just gonna find a charger for my phone real quick since it's dead. Let me check this. Bro, what happened? My stream just died because the internet went down. If hitting life was the right move, resources, Gundam has very little decisions, only through the colors like a red. Just had real serious questions of hitting life. Yeah, that sucks. Hope they come back. Bro, what happened? The skill ratio is very off for Gundam TC compared to deck power. The strong eject shouldn't be the easiest. Yes, I agreed. That's what they have to get under control. I'm just tired of seeing the game, this same two deck types, aggro or blockers, the game being decided on links to win. I agree. 100% agree with that. 100% agree. I do not like blocker swap, GM's trash, and then I want them to start adding in a lot of power creeps, actual game mechanics, because right now, honestly, guys, the cards that we're playing with don't have a lot of words on them. If they don't have a lot of words on them, we're not really doing anything. Like, the cards really suck. Can Gundam get significantly better by the end of the year or in another year? 100%. But it just depends on how much better is it going to get, and are we still going to be sitting around playing, you know, GM or blockers slop or whatever. Who knows? But I'll be right back. Man, my voice is like so rusty right now. This feels like I've been like talking way too much or something, or the cold. It's been raining here a bunch. Okay, let's back up to chat. I'm giving it until gd06. If they haven't really done anything much to change or eliminate the glaring issues, I'm packing it and will maybe revisit a later time. Yeah, I mean, honestly, guys, like some of my people that I've been talking to have been playing Digimon, or even just getting into Digimon as a side note, because it's like pretty cheap to get into it, just like Gundam. And Digimon obviously is like 5 or 5.5 years into their game, and Digimon has a lot of words, has a lot of mechanics, has timings, is a lot more competitive. And a lot of Digimon players quit Digimon because it got to becoming like Yu-Gi-Oh, or it became like too many things going on. Mostly sequencing, which means you actually have abilities and triggers and stuff like this. The game is not overall complicated. It's still a Bandai game. It's very straightforward for the most part, but you do have to be on top of your timings essentially. But it's Digimon, so it's very fun to play multiple different decks, whether you're playing casually, whether you're playing more of the top 10 competitor decks. But again, there's still 10 decks that you can still take to your regionals and do well with, or if you're just better than your opponent, you can also do well in that game. Oh, those are best of 3, which is cool. There's no sideboard, but it is a best of 3. So okay, let's make changes to the deck. What do we need? What do we not need? We're gonna keep all these cards. The Wing Gundam Bird Mode might come out of the deck, but I don't know if it's 100% going to or not. Do we need this many bases? The answer is probably yes. I feel like we kind of got messed up last game. Striker Pack, Wing Zero. I want Path of Victory in the deck really badly. We're gonna do one of these. We're gonna put in Path of Victory or Defeat because this card is really, really good. It makes sure I can get that Wing Zero turn after turn. Okay, we're pretty much looking Gucci here. That's the only change I want to make right now. Oh yeah, wait. Somebody asked me about Silver Bullet being in the deck. So if you want to add Silver Bullet to the deck, we can. The issue is we need to like remove Bird Mode, make it into a very, very heavy blocker deck, which I don't really want to do. We also can reduce the amount of Rick Diaz's that we play. Like 2 Rick Diaz's is totally fine, and then add in Silver Bullet. Like 2 Silver Bullets, be a more beefier guy. We definitely want to stay within like this range of early blockers. I think 7 early blockers is a perfect like amount of number, or 9 if you want a lot more. 2 Silver Bullets is solid and could be quite useful, but really do want to play like our Death Sides and stuff like that. We're definitely not going to be removing like Death Sides Duo from the deck because we're not going to go down the blocker swap route. But if you guys wanted a lot of wins, then maybe, you know, blocker swap Wing Zero would be obviously very good, just like it was in GD01. And I kind of want to keep Wing Gundam Bird Mode here simply because it allows me to ramp when I can't ramp with Death Scythe, or yeah, Death Scythe, and it allows me to also link with Hero Yui early in the game, which sometimes can be pretty impactful. But I could lower it. I mean, it should only be at a... Whoops, it's gone. Let's bring this 2 bird modes back. 2 bird modes. So Lifrit, Rick Diaz, flat, Wing Gundam bird mode, Baby Death Side, Bullet. I don't like the Bullet too much. I mean, I like it against red. I feel like red is already going to smash us no matter what we do, for the most part. And reducing the amount of these cards we have is something I'm not willing to do at the moment. Reducing Wing Gundam is something we can do. 100%. We could do that. Reducing it to 3. 3 is a pretty good number for Wing Gundam, but we're going to keep it at 4. Wing Zero, Death Scythe. It's a silver bullet part that like always gets me because I don't want to run as many blockers. I really want to play these big boss monsters. So let's not play this for now. Let's just stick to these cards in general. Let's 4 or 5. Let's up the Rick Diaz. Simply make that one change over here. We'll continue with this for now. It's been doing pretty well so far. Did you have to call me out like that? I stopped for Gundam because Digimon was becoming free to homogenized. What is homogenized? I don't know what that means. Homogenized? That was me on Silver Bullet. I've heard gd04 is where this game starts to pop off with more mechanics. I mean, we've all heard these things, but they kept saying that the third set is when, or the fourth set is when, or the you know, it's like it just keeps going. None of the new decks are completely enough to do neat things. They're just a lot of tech cards. Because see, yeah, we like I hate that every single set in Gundam, we basically only get like 2 cards per deck. I don't understand in what, like, I'm playing Wing and the new set comes out and I've gotten 0 support for Wing. And then I've only gotten like this card called Graceful Demeanor, which is not even like support for Wing. Or a card like Flat, which is also not support for Wing. And for poor Academy players had to wait a year for like support, and it's not even real support. It just says alternate way to play Academy, which just breaks my mind. Being like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't know what Bandai's gonna do to actually give us everything we need, because it's really gonna suck that all of a sudden, like, let's say right now we got Academy, right? What if Academy players don't get actual real support and it doesn't become a real competitive deck until another year? Like, do we really want to wait another year for that? Like, that sounds ridiculous, right? It sounds completely ridiculous if we have to wait another year for Academy to get extra support and to be a competitive deck. Like, that would suck. Like, Vagon still hasn't gotten support. Clan, I mean, it's fine, but it could still use some stuff. Wing has got nothing for the most part since gd01. Like, not gonna count Ultron or some random uncommon heavy arms that are not played. What do I want to do here? I definitely want to go grab, like, wow. Definitely gonna grab the Wing Gundam here, and then I definitely want to play out, like, he's playing blue-white. He could have bounce cards. We'll play this guy. We'll make it into a 4-2, and then we will basically just end the turn here. It means decks become samey for me. You get your level 6, level 7 bodies and you can't kill it. Bird mode down a fold. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of the Digimon decks, obviously, I mean, I think a lot of Bandai games are kind of the same anyways. I still do think that Digimon has obviously more diversity and stuff. Obviously, if you're playing competitively, then maybe, yeah, everything becomes an OTK machine. But at least decks are doing different things and there's actual outs to everything, like stunning, jamming, you know, destroying the board or bouncing a card, counterplay to counterplay. Exactly what a new Mafty card in gd04 made me laugh. The sadness passed. I literally just put 0 and save 1 for the real wave of support. Exactly, yeah. I was really upset that Mafty got, like, literally nothing. Because Mafty deserves more than what it got. But nope. Even with the new movie coming out, literally, like, in 9 days, they decided to give us 0 support. What am I gonna do here? What am I gonna do here? Let's attack into this. Two damage. Let's pop it. I didn't have to do the wing Gundam there, but counters to keyboards I don't think really matters, but I see what you mean about variety. Yeah, I mean at least there's different variety and things to play. Also the best of 3. There's a lot more like a lot more things you can do, a lot more moves you can make. And at least you get to interact with your opponent. In Gundam, man, you're just dead. And the worst part about it is not that we're not even talking about Digimon. Like, the worst part about Bandai is that Bandai has had how many card games, how many years to like develop a good game, and number 2, Gundam is like their baby. It's like their biggest selling product, pretty much. And this is what they give us. They give us this as their trading card game. I can make a better trading card game, like by myself, than what they've given us here. Like, anybody could have made this game in 2 seconds. That's how easy it is to make this game. Like, this game is literally just, oh yeah, let's make blockers, let's make dudes, let's start making levels and stuff. Okay, let's get resources. Let's use their classic shield mechanic that we use in every single one of our games. It's complete trash. Do I want to go really aggressive on this guy? I have 7 mana. I can drop a bunch of guys here. Let's end the turn, see what he does. I'm not going to drop the wing 0 yet. I do need to just draw like death sights and things like that. It's very disappointing that Gundam card game is what it is at the moment. And I know people are going to think I hate the game. It's like, no, I don't really hate the game. I see what the game is. But there's no way in hell I'm going to say this is like one of the best card games in existence. It's probably one of the, it's definitely a bad card game that exists on the planet Earth, for sure. Not even close to like being a good card game. I always tell people, if they erase all the Gundams off of these cards, then what? Nobody's gonna play this game. Nobody would play a game where we do not have the word Gundam. Okay, that's always the thing with these guys. What do I want to do here? I kind of want to do the baby death sight play, swing into his shields for 5. He cannot unforeseen me. I have repair 1. See what he wants to do here. Go Y on him. Yeah, but a lot of people have been playing Digimon. Some of my clients have been playing Digimon. They've been having fun playing it, which is good. What do I want to do here? Is he gonna play more blockers or not is a question. Let's just drop my hand and then see what he does. If he doesn't have a lot of blockers, I can do a bunch of damage to his shields. I can also just ram everything into him. And then drop the 0 and wipe his board. We're kind of even on cards right now, but I have dominant board position. Gundam being so popular realistically is why they made it so casual, vast, a wide net. Yeah, but see, the problem is, if every single one of us were given a Riftbound deck. League of Legends is very popular, but League of Legends is extremely popular. Riftbound is extremely popular. Riftbound regionals are like, you know, always 1,000, 2,000 plus players. It's a competitive game. It's also a casual game at the same time, and Riftbound's multiplayer game, if you want to play 2v2s and stuff like that, is also fun. What is this guy doing? Nothing. Played a bunch of dudes. Okay. Well, let's swing at the shields again. See what this guy wants to do to us. This game will get better. There's no, I think there's enough like shit talking the game or speaking negatively about it. It will get better eventually. Just how better will it get is a problem. And again, if you're a competitive player, it's just better to play other games. For a casual player, it's the competitive players like your older brothers who are gonna be watching out for you and telling you, hey, there's a problem in the game. We should probably be aware of it. And the problem is, like, there's all these problems, right? We're not, people like me, other people who are competitive. I'm here watching out for the game more so than talking shit about it. Just so everybody's aware of, hey, there's issues. These are the issues. This is what we can make the game better, because it can be a semi-competitive game. It can be something like Digimon. I much prefer Digimon. And playing Digimon over this game. There's many other games that I would play that are, you know, quote unquote casual, but at least it's fun to play them. And that's my problem. I'm actually watching out for the casual player, being like, it's not fun for a casual player or a competitive player to get annihilated by blocker slop or one drops, and there's issues in the game that can be fixed. And these are some of the ways that we can fix them. Obviously, we need mechanics and things like that, but Bandai just doesn't want to care. And there's people on the internet who also just sit around and spread, I guess, wrong information. There's a lot of you guys in chat or in the comment section who also like don't like IBO academies like takes on things and like gaslighting and all this stuff. Which is fair, I guess. And there's people who don't like my takes. That's a thing, but I think people like my takes. It's just that they don't actually listen to all my comments in the videos or what I'm talking about and take things out of context. Attack, please die, like, just quit or something. He blocked it. Sure, I don't care. Do I want to drop the wing 0 on him? I can just wipe out everything he has. The answer is gonna be no. Let me think, actually, because he can kill this, survive. He can kill this. I'm just gonna play a wing Gundam and pass my turn. No reason to go too nuts here. I mean, there is a reason, but I'll play a wing Gundam. Let's see if my phone is charged. BRB. I have a fireplace behind me, and every single time I turn it off, it starts to rain, and then it gets cold for like 2-3 days, and then every single time I turn it on, the sun comes out and it starts to get warm. So I don't know. He armor raid my Gundam. That's fine. Plays right into my wing 0. Skip playing action. My mom called me. One sec. Islam.
Driving down the 101 into the wild. 6 a.m. Never tired. We just keep on going until we die. Take my hand and baby we can run. Baby we can run till tomorrow comes. Love me slowly, yeah, 'cause we're still young. Baby we can run till tomorrow comes. Love me slowly, yeah, 'cause we're still young. Baby we can run till tomorrow comes. Faded dreams, get no sleep. Dancing with the wind till we lose our feet. Don't let go, take control. Play our favorite songs on the radio. Feeling so alive, like shooting stars flying through the sky. Just you and I, we're gonna set the world on fire. So take my hand and baby we can run. Baby we can run till tomorrow comes. Love me slowly, yeah, 'cause we're still young. Baby we can run till tomorrow comes. Till tomorrow comes. We can run till tomorrow. Love me slowly, yeah, 'cause we're still young. Baby we can run till tomorrow comes. Baby we can run till tomorrow comes. Slow burn, took a while to bring our golden numbers to life. But you're worth every second, 'cause we got the fire to ignite. No, I wouldn't have it any other way, 'cause I can't get over what I'm doing with you. No, I wouldn't have it any other way tonight. No, no. We've fallen into feelings they don't know. Don't care Like a mystery across the highest mountains to climb, but we reached all the glory that waited on the other side. No, I wouldn't have it any other way, 'cause I can't get over what I'm doing with you. No, I wouldn't have it any other way tonight. No, no. We've fallen into feelings they don't know. Don't care if they never read the story we wrote. Oh, our love is holy, good as gold. Just one spark in our hearts turned into something beautiful. Just one spark in our hearts turned into something beautiful. Just one spark in our hearts turned into something beautiful. Just one spark in our hearts turned into something beautiful. It was so magical. Every second you and I, those sacred nights, I want 'em back.
You can hear me now. I believe you can hear me now. I just talked for a whole bunch, and my mic was not plugged in fully. My bad, guys. But I pretty much agreed with the a lot of people are just quitting the game because aggro's disgusting and all that. And in the current day and age, people should not have an excuse to make a bad card game. And Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day was like beatdown, but that's also like so long ago, and it grew very, very quickly. And it also had Dark Hole and Mirror Force rather quickly. It had interaction since day one. Had interaction. And it wasn't just, oops, I'm going to win the game in a couple turns. All of a sudden, like, there was 100% Magic Cylinder, Mirror Force, Trench Tribute, Dark Hole. Fissure was a card, like, stomping. You know, all these cards were there since day one, pretty much. Made the game a lot better. Alright. My bad, guys. I had to go give my phone to my little sister because my mom's calling from overseas. Okay, this guy just, again, he just -1'd himself to balance my Lifrith, which is irrelevant. Like, he's literally down one card on me now. And he went second. So. I miss those as Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, you can go play the old formats. The decks are extremely cheap. Also, you know, people think that Yu-Gi-Oh! Still is very expensive. If you want a top tier Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck, you can pretty much buy a 2-star decks or a star deck, and you'll pretty much have a competitive deck in the current day of Yu-Gi-Oh! And now they have the collector side of it too, if you want the full arts and over arts and stuff like that. He wants to swing and trade. He does realize that he doesn't reduce my AP, right? Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So now we're on equal shields. Pretty much. Mine's better. And then he's down to cards, which is cool. I can just play double blockers here. But yeah, pretty much nowadays nobody should be making bad card games. Bandai's had way too many card games, way too much experience. They're using a very simple set of rules. Shield mechanic, automatic resources, level system, easy. It's so easy for them to create card games. And they just, I don't know what's wrong with them. you know, I mean, maybe Bandai has to come out and put a giant disclaimer on all their products saying, all of our games are very casual. You have to come into this game knowing that we are not going to make a very good card game. We purposely make our card games just for fun, quick play stuff. But then they host these big tournaments and all this stuff in the first place. It makes no sense. Okay, he has 2 damage on him. I did grab the duo. We are going to annihilate his face now. First strike is Wing Gundam, knock out of the park. Do I need to grab another card out of my shield area? I don't think I do right now, but Deathside Duo could be a thing. Going too low on shields, is it a big deal? No, he might think I have Unforeseen or something in my hand. What's your opinion of forcing a... What's your opinion... Oh, you're asking. Of forcing a battle/damage exchange if a unit is revealed from shields to destruction. So you're talking about like Digimon, where they're basically end up battling it or they die if the enemy is stronger than they are. We don't need that in the game. That's not something that... In Digimon, you play a lot of Digimons and units. And then if you don't have that, your other cards basically have security effects. One Piece... Union Arena has that. I don't want the whole game to become, like, burst-centric. If every single time you get a shield hit, something is happening, I don't want that to happen. That's 100% a thing. So I don't want that to happen. I just simply want cards to have actual words on them. Number 1. And then number 2... Do I want to play another... Do I play a second Wing Gundam? Okay, let's just end the turn like this. Yeah, so I want cards to have actual words. I want cards to have actual abilities. I want us to get out of this very vanilla stock standard. I don't want bases to have AP. That's not exactly what... Yeah, I don't want bases to have AP either. Like, I mean, a particular base can have AP. I'm not against it. Right, a particular base. And one of the things we have to remember in this game is, hey, if you give... He's attacking to my... This guy? Wait, I can just block this and then swing into it next turn. Okay. I can also bounce these 2 guys. And yeah. What are we asking? The question was bases at AP. So I'm not against bases having AP because it could be a powerful base or whatever. The issue is if we give red a base that has AP, you know, then we have to give other people bases at AP because they're trying to deal with the problem aggro, right? So if you're trying to like gain AP to stop GMs from attacking and so on, then every single color has to have access to that exact same base because it has to be equal. Otherwise, just like we have right now, everybody plays white to beat aggro because you can't. There's nothing else to do, right? And then you can say, okay, well, what if we play? We can play white for blockers. We can play red for like all the burn spells. But then it's like, okay, what does green have? Green has nothing. What does blue have? Blue has almost nothing either. So it's not very cool when people just don't have access to every single... Do I want the Wing 0? Do I want the Death Scythe? This thing hits for 7. I'll go to 7. 8. Okay, I kind of just want to slam more dudes into the game. Let's... I don't know what I'm doing here because I'm kind of distracted from chat. But we are gonna figure things out real quick. We're gonna attack our opponent's shield area. And then we're gonna attack him with this card as well. and everything else. So yeah, basically it's gotta be equality. Okay, if one person's gonna get access to like a AP base, then everybody's gotta get an AP base. Otherwise it's unfair. Otherwise we're gonna end up in a situation where all of a sudden everybody's playing blocker slop. Everybody's playing only red because red is the only one that has access to damage bases. Or everybody's playing green because green has the only one that has the base, etc. Wing is super solid in this meta? Yeah, Wing is super solid. I think Wing's gonna be the only like Wing and Red White. Red White's usually overall more stronger. But Wing is always gonna be really solid because it just plays good Gundam. Okay, let me get back to chat now. Yu-Gi-Oh is not sustainable. Yu-Gi-Oh is sustainable. What do you mean it's not sustainable though? Like, wait, let me check chat. It will head there eventually. If there's 0 now, there will be. It will go up. Yeah. Speedwind. Many abilities have to strict activation requirement. Yeah, they have 2 restrict. They're color restricted. They're color coded. They're like gotta be linked. They gotta have pilots. All this stuff. Colony does damage to units, but it's very conditional. Exactly. Just say you just don't want it to be Yu-Gi-Oh, man. But this game became shitty due to years of bloat and Bible text. I don't want it to be Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't want the game to be Yu-Gi-Oh. I just want there to be more. Like, Magic is not Yu-Gi-Oh. Flesh and Blood is not Yu-Gi-Oh. I just want there to be more interaction, more things going on, and I want us to move away from this one-drop spam and blocker spam. Because I think everything else in the game, you play Academy, you play CB, you play Clan, when those decks face off against each other, it's fun. I'm never upset about losing to Clan or something else. It is fun, whether I get aggroed out, whether I get Neo Zeong, whether I get, you know, whatever, Wing Zeroed or whatever. It's a game. I do think Yu-Gi-Oh is sustainable because they've been sustaining it for so long and they're very smart. And if you think about the evolution of, they had to evolve Yu-Gi-Oh and going back to Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic, they both had to evolve. They're both neck and neck. And they both had to evolve their game with planeswalkers, with new mechanics, and with Yu-Gi-Oh! They also had to involve like synchro summoning, all the exceed summoning and special type of summoning. It is still sustainable, and they're actually still sustaining it by introducing like common cards and introducing archetypes based on like the original series and stuff. It's still going. They're doing a really well job, and they're actually making an effort to keep their game sustainable for as long as possible. It's not about being it becoming Yu-Gi-Oh! It's that this game has no rarity, and you will always lose the same way of murder atomic. Yeah, exactly. I'm excited for when Gundam basically gets access to like alternate win conditions like Digimon and other games. Wing is super solid. You don't need paragraphs of text and cards. We don't need paragraphs. We just need actual abilities that activate on every single card and combos and stuff like that. I don't need a paragraph. Like, we don't need it to become Digimon exactly, but we do need actual abilities. LRs have actual abilities. Other cards do just simply have no words on them. It's insane value. I know I'm an old head, but Yu-Gi-Oh was incredible for the first 10 to 15 years. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh was amazing, and it still is the best card game in my opinion, and pretty much in I think Yu-Gi-Oh is the best card game ever made. It wasn't until Synchros came out the game went off the rails. Even when Synchros came out, it didn't go off the rails, but when Exceed Summoning and when Pendulums came out, a lot of people didn't like Pendulums. Even during Chaos, it was still really good. Game a lot of top trick meta decks. Yeah, when I play Gundam, not this thing meta has become. Agreed. This game could have had a lot of potential if within the action step it could chain like you could Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! Instead, it's where you have to wait for one card to resolve and start a new chain. This game has soft interaction. Yes, agreed. It is not sustainable because the people who play it are people who have nostalgia from the first show. Once those people are gone, how's the game supposed to get new players? They don't. Well, if we kill every single person who's like, I don't know, like from the ages of like 80 years old all the way to like 30 years old, if all those people die, then Gundam also won't exist, because like the young age people don't play or watch Gundam as much. It's really the 30, 40, 50 years old that are playing Gundam and even know what Gundam is. A lot of people just don't even know what Gundam is. People don't even know who Seto Kaiba is, even if they play card games or not. So, yeah, I think Yu-Gi-Oh will still like succeed in many, many ways, and the game is still very good. But it does require you to be this tall to ride. Nostalgia, first show. There's still a lot of new players entering Yu-Gi-Oh. New players do still play it. Not every single person who plays Yu-Gi-Oh in the current day and age are from like the very, very OG era. I'm one of the few OG era Yu-Gi-Oh players. There's a lot of people who play Yu-Gi-Oh who only like entered the game after its 15 years, and then they kind of playing it from then on, not from like day one. What about One Piece? Is that game better? I haven't played One Piece, but I understand their way of dealing with aggro spam or one drop spam was that your leader has actual BP points, and so you have to get over that, and you can use Dawn and stuff to like power that up. But from people who've been playing One Piece, and some of my clients have told me that One Piece is very expensive in the top of the meta, and they do bans a lot and things like that, and so all of a sudden you have to swap decks to the next best deck. And so One Piece also would probably just fall under Bandai's not good game. I still think Digimon is their best game to date. My guess is they will keep printing nostalgia cards and dumb down the format to make it easier to play. I don't know what they're going to do with Yu-Gi-Oh, but I know Yu-Gi-Oh is always on top, or at least pushing their game to keep evolving and keeping it as well balanced as it can be. And that's what they've been doing for literally like 30 years. My guess, okay, so wing gameplay, yes sir. Yeah, if the action chain was reversed, that would make it nice. For example, we can play Giant Killing, you play Kind Heart and Response. Yeah, exactly. That's another problem with this game, is that there's no action chain, they don't want any feel bad moments. And feel bad moments are skill moments. When you get outskilled, you feel bad because your opponent just outplayed you, and now you know you're fucked basically. And that is 100% something that they should have done with this game, but they didn't. Like in Riftbound, that can happen, like, you know, and it's really, really good. A lot of people hate Wing Zero because, like, oh my god, Wing Zero's entering the board, he killed all my guys. Like, my dude, just don't play into it, or, yeah, that's the only way I can destroy all your early game units. It's a level 8 unit. Like, it's literally a level 8 unit. Of course, it's going to do something when it comes in, and then if you don't build your deck around GMs, then you can, pretty much, like, the Wing Zero doesn't do anything. But with how the game is, that type of interaction can happen. You give player day 1, turn 40 this year. God damn, am I getting old? Yes, sir. Yes, spot on. 40 is not old. Check out Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. How old are they? Bloody vampires. Oh, wait, weren't they in that movie where they never age? I have no idea. But yeah, 40. I'm like 32. I'm 31 right now, but 32 in October. But yeah, like, I'm one of the OG players, and some of the people like who play Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays don't even play Yu-Gi-Oh from day one. They've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh since, you know, somewhere when Synchros came out, or right before Synchros came out, like Lightsworn Edison era, is when they started picking up Yu-Gi-Oh. But I've been there since day one, but then I stopped playing after, like, as soon as what's the summoning called, man? There's so many summonings. As soon as Pendulum Monsters came out, I stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh because I hit high school. That's very nice of you to say how luckily I'm better in shape and health than I was turning 30. That's awesome. Alright, let's get back to some more Wing gameplay. Wing has been crushing it so far, whether it's been aggro, Wing mirror matches, or blue-white. Been doing pretty well. Which is awesome, because Wing is like my deck, and I do think that Wing has a place. And Wing is one of those decks where, you know, depending on how the format is, depending on if your opponent is going super aggro, or if they're going like more mid-range, or the meta is extremely like command heavy, you can always adjust the Wing deck to play how you want it to play. I'll keep this hand, why not? Not exactly the hand I would typically keep, but we'll see, since most people are playing aggro anyways. Our entire job is to try and play into the aggro matchups and then see how it goes. drawing three pilots in a row is not exactly ideal. Playing against red white, level 8 G Quux. Okay. Also, I think the only people who are allowed to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Like positively or negatively, for my take, are people who actually actively play, or not actively, but people who have actually played Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively, not casually, but have actually played Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively. Because they actually understood what it took to play it competitively, actually had a merit in it. A lot of people talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Have never played Yu-Gi-Oh! Or weren't that invested into it. But yet they sit there talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! As if they know what Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually is. Issue with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that you need a lot of pre-existing knowledge, because anyone can play any deck from any era. Yes, most people will be good at Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's more a memory game than a card game. I mean, that's chess as well. I mean, chess, Yu-Gi-Oh! But you can get into it and still be well. You can also learn. If you're a brand new player right now and you had a teacher or someone to teach you, you could do it. Because you're not trying to be the pro in Yu-Gi-Oh! No one's trying to be a pro in Gundam or any card game, for the most part. So going from zero to hero is not exactly something that people should be trying to do, unless that's obviously your goal, which is very, 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 very few people. And you can learn all these things. You'll learn very quickly in any card game, even Riftbound. So, what the hell just happened? Oh, he close combat at me. Okay, cool. He wasted cards. I'm cool with that. Man, what is his hand? What am I supposed to do with this? I guess I'm gonna link 5 times in a row. Let's hope to God. So yeah, it is a memory game, but it's also not a memory game. It's critical thinking, all these things. I mean, that's card games in general are the same thing. It's just that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a lot more skillful than like Gundam. You still have to memorize in Gundam, or not memorize, but you need to understand how to play certain matchups. People still don't understand, which is why they get coaching from me on how to play certain matchups and why I include certain cards, why I don't include certain cards. Okay, well, we can absolutely ramp up if we need to. We can also just pass the turn and drop a wing 0 on his head, which is probably what we're gonna do. Is simply just be like, yep, I'm bricked. See you next time. Nothing to do here. Hey, you good? If you want to be competitive, you shouldn't need to fight 15 years with the knowledge. The issue is they draw into the corner with effects and interactions. You don't need 15 years of knowledge to play Yu-Gi-Oh! You can start playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Today if you wanted to. You just need to know the current metagame matchups, and learn. Just like in Gundam, you don't need to know what Academy does. You don't need to know what like Clan does for the most part. You don't need to know any of these things. You don't even need to like really know what Wing 0 does either. You can kind of just skip that as well. I just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna skip over what the Wing deck does, because it's not exactly something I'm super worried about testing into, because it's very straightforward. But playing into like a red-white matchup, it's gonna be more urgent for you to understand what to do against blue-red, for example, and against like, yeah, Banshee mode into Clan, for example, making sure you understand. Well, I mean, not really Clan, but Clan has some interactions going on with it. First strike units and stuff. Do you want to drop the 0 here and just blast his board? Probably do. I probably do just want to say, get out of my face. He'll kill this anyways. I'm gonna swing at his shields. End the turn. Hardcore. Yeah, I was a hardcore, tons of locals and regionals in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yep, that was my first step into high school. High level competitive TCG, same MSA hand, classic MSA shuffle. Yes, sir. Is One Piece more fun than Gundam? Watching the game is not that entertaining, and I feel the commentator is right. Yeah, One Piece is not a lot more fun than Gundam is. I would definitely go towards Digimon first, and try that out. But it's up to you. Most of the people play it because they're IP. I avoid Yu-Gi-Oh too hard. I am new to TCG, just trying to enjoy fun things with my kids. Yeah, no reason to play Yu-Gi-Oh if you're just playing a casual game. Definitely don't play Yu-Gi-Oh if you're gonna go full casual. Playing Yu-Gi-Oh casually is a full-time job, but that's what the people who play it like, however much people complain about it. I think personally it shouldn't be that, but I don't play the game anymore, so whatever. Yeah, I still think there's room for being a casual in Yu-Gi-Oh, going to locals and stuff. Yeah, you're not gonna win every game, but you get to learn. Like trading card games, at the end of the day, it's very fun for us to play trading card games. I think is because we get to deck build, we get to learn. Learning is the most funnest thing, period. And that's kind of why we enjoyed playing this game. Man, what am I supposed to do here? Like, what on actual earth am I supposed to do here? Okay, he's gonna block me or do something. Of course he's gonna block me, but at least that's a free guy we get. Okay, get that guy out of here. Drop onto this guy. Take out his Sananju. Skip. End the turn. Okay, let's see what he has. Providence and all that jazz. I think there's still a casual scene. I still watch Team Samurai X. Some of the guys that show up at his locals are still like, obviously they're adults, but they're still playing the game like more casually. I feel like even if I started playing to Yu-Gi-Oh, I haven't played for like 15, 17, 18 years, but I would still jump right into it and be a top 8, top 4 player relatively quickly. Ripbound is a game that's brand new. You still need a big understanding of Ripbound to actually do well in it. What do I want to do here? What do I want to do here? I kind of want to nuke his board. But he's playing L Strike and stuff, man. Okay, let's just do this for now. If I can buy myself a little bit more time, I can probably draw into more and more bigger units. Especially with Path of Victory, Overflowing. Haven't really seen many of those either. We've seen a lot of bad cards. Well, not bad cards, but like most of our blocker, not most, but some of our blockers, bases, all of our pilots pretty much. Yeah, I did forget about dual ability, yes. I also play because of my kids, and now they are not enjoying the Gundam scene. My plays comp and now wants to get a game with better interactions. Yeah, try Digimon. I mean, Digimon is kind of cheap. Digimon is very cheap to get into. It could be something that is very good as well for people to play. I'll just try Digimon at least. There's a lot more interaction, but again, Digimon might be a bit complicated for... I mean, honestly, like, I'm different. I was doing chess in 2000 rating at the age of 6 kind of deal. At least I could play against somebody who was 2000 rating and have a chance to beat them 1 in 5, 1 in 8 games. And then all that. So I'm built different, but for most people, I think that Digimon is a game that can teach your kid, like, you know, being on top of triggers, the discipline, doing it right way, going through the different play lines, knowing your options, and also having like something to do, not just play like Rick Diaz and pass. There's also like Digimon's cute. I mean, there's a lot of shows for Digimon as well, like Pokemon. So I think that might be a very, very good route to go down. I think the player base of Digimon is a lot more fun than and chill than Pokemon and stuff like that. Okay, let's attack him here. Give him full frontal. Let's link this guy. Attack him with this guy as well. What do I want to do here? Do I just want to pass or do I play the hero? I can probably draw into Wing Gunner at some point. Or something, hopefully. 2000 rating at 6? Yeah. My dad played a lot of chess and I would just play into him. This is obviously before YouTube and all that stuff. And so that's why I just keep bringing up that I'm not a really good example of everything, but I'm also an example of, hey, a 6-year-old kid, 5-year-old kid, 4-year-old kid can 100% take on a lot of load, and it will make them a lot sharper and better at a younger age than waiting for them to become like 12, 15 years old. It's like at that point they're already growing up, have hormones, interacting with them, and a bunch of other things. Are we just dead here? Kind of. They want to hang out with their kids and their friends. They're not really there sitting around trying to become like better. If Digimon wasn't so dead, I would consider it, but spending money on a game that doesn't seem that popular seems like a waste of money. Yeah, I agree with that. Digimon is kind of dead, so if you don't have a local scene, then you can't really play Digimon. Although you can still play on, the like online webcam clients, and also there is going to be a Digimon simulator coming out, like all the other like Hearthstone and stuff like that for Digimon, sometime this year apparently, hopefully. So they do beta testings and that stuff at their big Bandai events. So if you guys ever do go to those events, do check out the Digimon section for, hopefully they have like that there essentially, so you can play it. Another full frontal, fantastic. Let's just drop this. Let's hope we draw Wing Gundam at some point and win the game. If not, we're pretty much cooked. My humbleness? Yeah, I'm pretty humble. A lot of people think I'm super cocky or arrogant and condescending, but in reality, they just don't understand where I'm coming from, which is like a thing. Yeah. Digimon is also relatively cheap, even if it's just like picking up 2 decks that are like off TCG Player or local store bulk or whatever. Getting 2 decks together and just getting them to like play them against each other and being like, okay, do you guys like this? Do you guys not like this? Spend like 20-40 bucks. Could be enough. I'm just gonna concede here. Red white always a hard matchup. Could be a good way for them to just play with something else, and maybe they start liking Digimon a lot more than Gundam, because I think Gundam definitely is not. I would not tell anybody to get into Gundam that was asking me. I would tell them like, you gotta wait for at least like 6 months to 2 years before the game really starts to get good. And the best game that is actually probably one of the best games right now, there's only a couple of games that are extremely good to play right now that are relatively new and you can get into, competitively speaking, which is Flesh and Blood, which a lot more mature audience plays. Basically, if you liked Magic the Gathering and there was like the whatever you cater, you are a Magic player too, or like the adults play Magic, you're into like fantasy and stuff like that, Flesh and Blood is basically overtaking Magic the Gathering completely in terms of that route. And then Riftbound is the League of Legends card game, which is, again, it's probably the best game moving forward, but it is very expensive. It's an expensive game. It's a very competitive game. It's the biggest card game, I would say, pretty much, moving forward. And it's backed by Riot Games and League of Legends, which means it's going to be taken care of. There's going to be ban restriction lists. It's going to be very, very competitive, and it's going to be here for the next 30, 40, 50 years, whatever. And so, yeah. Anybody ask me what are the best card games to get into right now, I would say that Digimon is the most fun casual one over Gundam. And then after that, I tell them, okay, the competitive ones is Flesh and Blood if you want something really competitive in fantasy and you're like a Magic fan with artwork and all that. Or Riftbound, but Riftbound is more expensive and yeah. But it can also be inexpensive. You just don't get to play the best decks in the game because it is a competitive format. So I'm not gonna bother blocking, just gonna continue to develop my board here. There goes my ring 0. Also, everyone has quality issues and the card quality is ass, even though it is such an expensive game. Not particularly. It had card quality issues on set 1. I don't think it has card quality issues anymore. If it still does, it's not a big deal. I'm gonna be honest. I bought a bunch of cards and it wasn't like every single card was super bad or anything like that. Which again, if you're playing a card game, I don't know why. I mean, the whole grading community and everything goes after like, we gotta grade our cards, or our cards have to be 100% perfect, or we can't play this game. Is something that I just also don't really get behind. I'm gonna make this a 2-4, and then I'm gonna play a Rick Diaz. I'll pass. So yeah, the card quality was a thing a little bit, but again, it's most of the commons. It's only the commons that have the bad quality in the first place anyway. It's not, none of the expensive cards are bad quality. Is there a way for you to minimize OBS so when you tab to read the details of the gameplay? Yeah, I can do this. Whoops. There it is. Now it's gonna open like this. I'll just leave the chat on the screen. What is this guy doing? Attacking me for 3. I can take that hit actually. Skip interaction. Yeah, sorry about that. My phone is with my sister still upstairs, which is why I'm reading chat off of the screen. And I don't have 2 monitors yet. Is it worth getting into it now? I heard the game is behind in China. No, the game is ahead in China by 3 months, which means you'll be able to tell what the metagame is and other stuff going into it. Also, you can, in that game, you can use any language of cards you want. So obviously you guys will probably want English, but if you guys were going for competitive deck format, you guys can save a bunch of money by getting Chinese cards and using those for your competitive games and just memorizing what the card does for the most part. Like we all know what Ring 0 does, we all know what Lifrit does, we all know what Deathlight does, or Ring Gundam. So you can use different languages in Riftbound. Also, unlike Gundam, where every single card just drops in price and goes to 0, in those games, your cards actually do get to hold their value for a long time. Yeah, I kind of want to just get rid of this. Let's knock out this guy. Do I want to play Overflow or a base? That's the question. Probably want to play the base first. Thanks, no problem. Is it worth getting into it? Yeah. Is there a way you can minimize? Okay, cool. Okay, we're all caught up. I'm keeping this Lifrit up so I can block the Rick Dom and not take breach damage. Let's just make this thing a little tankier so I can trade against everybody. Pass. Gonna keep the 6 HP base in my hand until I run out of shields, pretty much. I don't even know how many guys are in chat right now, cause I don't have my phone. Can somebody tell me how many viewers are in chat? Since I can't see that. How much on average is a competitive deck in Riftbound? What about the shinies? Without the shinies? What about Star Wars Unlimited? Stay away from Star Wars Unlimited. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Do not get into Star Wars Unlimited at all. That is a dead game. 4? There's only 4 viewers in chat. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Keen to know this as well. Yeah, don't get into Star Wars Unlimited. I'll pull that up for you guys right after I deal with this guy in front of me. Skip, 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 skip. One sec. Is he doing anything? No, he's not. I'm trying to find one with the Plethora Archive maybe has the cost curve. Yeah, this one has it. Okay. We'll look at it after this match is over. $42. Okay, there we go. 42 viewers. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm like, 4, that sounds wrong. I'd rather get into one Riftbound than One Piece. Yes, 100%. 100%. 100%. The best game to get into at the moment is Riftbound. The cards hold their value. There's a lot of interaction. There's a lot of different ways you can play your deck, and skill matters the most, okay? If you are the best player in your country playing, and I said country, not your city, in your country playing Riftbound, you are pretty much not going to lose to anybody ever, outside of like random chance or something, playing Riftbound. Okay, you will absolutely, it's worth putting your skill into, it's worth getting good. And in Riftbound, if you go to a regional or a big tournament, let's say you don't want to play the meta deck, you always like love playing Wing Zero, you love playing Clan. When you go to these events, okay, the very big ones, they will have a prize card that they give to every single person who is the best with their particular hero. So if you are the best hero UE player, you will get a you will get a metal hero UE card. If you were the best Kira player, you'll get a Kira card. Okay, so your leaders in Riftbound, you have leader cards, and if you are the best player at that regionals, so if you place the highest with that, you will get a metal card, which is worth upwards of $20,000 essentially. We can see this aggro deck is running out of gas. So Riftbound, your cards will hold a lot of value. You can also open, instead of opening an LR++, you can open a signature card which will hold like $5,000 worth of value, and people actually want it. It's only 40 card decks. It's 3 cards per card max. And there's a lot of creativity in deck making. There's also alternate win conditions. There's gimmicks you can do. Just overall, it's way better. Good. Next turn, I can finally deploy the Wing Gundam Peace Million. So yeah, Riftbound is better. Flesh and Blood is very difficult and also expensive. But again, I think every single time we bring up, is the trading card game expensive? It's a trading card game. If it's competitive, it's going to be expensive. You have to be going into it, you know, being able to spend at least $100 to $200 minimum. But there are decks in Riftbound that are also just like $50. And again, if you're just very good at the game, you can win with, you can do pretty well with any deck. A lot better than in Gundam for sure. And net decking isn't gonna just get you. I mean, if you're playing a top tier deck, yeah, it will. But there's a lot of avenues. Playing the best deck in Riftbound just because is not going to just get you to winning the whole tournament. You will probably get slapped around by somebody playing the worst deck in the format, but understands the game a lot better than you. So I have a Lee Sin deck for Riftbound as well. Again, not a top tier hero by any means, but it 100% can do a lot of work. Question is, do we want to initialize the Peace Million base or not? I think the answer is going to be no. I do not want him to draw cards. We're going to get rid of this guy first, because drawing cards is not an option for my friend here. And then we'll just end the turn here. I'm not going to give him any pilots. So yeah, those are my games right now. That's what I would suggest anybody getting into for trading card games?
Get up, it's time you rule the world.
Hmm.
One step,
Also, sorry if I'm all over the place today a little bit. Haven't streamed in a while and my voice is weird and I also haven't ate yet.
bring you down, 'cause you know
And I'm drinking water to not get dehydrated. And I might be getting sick.
early to start. You can roll away this time, 'cause the haters let them cry. 'Cause right now we have no more time. You can roll away this time, 'cause the
Okay.
we won't stop until we see the
He's attacking into my shield. Is that a problem for me? Nope, it's not a problem. Bounce card, graceful demeanor, something. Do a Maxwell, I'll take it. I can take care of everything on his side of the board. I know he doesn't have a pilot in his hand at the moment, so there's that. These two guys can block this. This guy can kill this. Death side can kill this, and then I have to deal with the token.
we keep pushing, 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 pushing harder till your sweat and tears cover.
Would you go for booster boxer singles if starting Riftbound? What's the best way to start? Okay, I'll talk about that after this match. Okay, so let's initially go with the Peace Million base. Let's go with Death Sight. Let's link Death Sight. Let's take out this guy. Let's take out the Gundam here. Well, I give him Amuro, which is dangerous. I guess I should have kept it up in case he draws an Amuro link or something. But very unlikely. What do you guys think? Should I get a second monitor? I'm leaving in a few months, which is why I'm deciding not to get one right now, but they're also kind of like 200, 300 bucks to get like a good monitor. Just for chat seems kind of excessive, but maybe I do need one or something for streaming.
I've been trying not to make all the same mistakes. We weren't always set in stone, but I know I took too long with this love. Yeah, I'd rather be alone, 'cause I am right where I belong, still holding on.
Amare, he gets to arrest me, but he cannot kill me. Okay, he wants to trade. Sure, I guess. Here we go. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna take out his Rig Dom. for obvious reasons.
Can't deny all the chances I didn't take.
Then we're gonna take out his token. Then we'll heal ourselves. And this guy's lost the game, I'm pretty sure. We'll pass. We have Gristle Demeanor in case he plays a bunch of guys. Oh, come on. Let's end this game. Another Amuro. Sure. Another base, another guy. Like, the guy should just concede, but he's not. I'm gonna just kill him next turn. I'll probably just attack with this as well, because there's no reason not to. Make sure that I don't get nullified by a base or something. There's the Amuro, no big deal. And he loses. Hello, you're on top of my YouTube homepage only when you stream. I see. Nice. Welcome, Marshy. We're going to be looking at, as soon as this game ends, we're going to be looking at whether it's better to, well, how to enter the Ripbound scene as a new person. I don't know why he's not conceding. I should just concede at this point because it's taking so long. Ridiculous. Wasting my time. Cool trade. Thank God he left. Okay, let's talk about Riftbound. So Riftbound, right? What are number one? I'm gonna send you guys this video so you guys can watch it for yourself. No, not talking about that. This one, I believe this was the one, that
Heed. And final.
no, this is, are they that expensive statistically? Okay, I'm gonna send you guys this if you guys want. This is from obviously like set 1 or whatever. But this is a YouTube video. If you guys want to go look at that, but on top of this, let's just go straight into Riftbound decks. Okay, or meta decks, whatever. Top decks. Okay, so not this one. I want to go to like tilt over deck list. So you guys can see the prices here. So this is like the first place deck out of a big tournament. And it's literally $249. Okay. So $250, $167 for the LeBlanc, which also won a Unleashed tournament, but this is irrelevant though. This is the new set coming out. This one is a Vex deck list, which is a $36. Kha'Zix, this is new cards by the way, they're not actually out yet. So we can see here most of the decks are falling under like for top competitive decks like 300, 250, 167, 230, 171. 300, but this guy also isn't out yet. Okay, who is this? Tilt over? I don't know who that is. Let's go to legends. No, sets. Let's go to legal. Okay, so these are legal. Let's go to set. Spirit Forge. Origins, Proving Grounds. Okay, so these are all sets. So here's all the current meta deck lists. This is the one that just won a big tournament. Rengar, $250. People are playing like all these other guys. Not super crazy expensive. I don't know why it's showing other things. But Fiora is another very popular deck, only $173. Kaisa is still one of the very popular decks, was the best deck in set 1. Set 2 also was pretty good. 226. And then you get Ivern is just a deck that isn't out yet. Jinx is only $84. Kha'Zix is only $100. Master Yi is only $64. Ezreal is extremely expensive. This is probably the most expensive deck in the format. And Misfortune over here, because they have a card. Well, this guy has a very particular card which is very expensive. Called, where is it? I believe these are alt arts, but well, it has a seal. The seal of Discord is expensive. I wish it would just show the price, but it doesn't. How do I see all the prices? No, where's the prices at? Guide, chaos, legal, deck value, export, browse collection, set. These are just cards. Okay. Anyways, I can't find a website that just shows me the prices as easily. But I think we get an idea of how expensive a deck for Ripbound is going to be. It's about $100 upwards to $250. And then some of the very, very expensive, like very like Ezreal and Misfortune are very expensive. But that's only because there's cards that they use because they're like a late game deck. So they have those big end game boss monsters, or a spell that lets them take an extra turn after the specific one, after the current one. So the best way to get into Riftbound is, number one, the question is, are you trying to enter Riftbound? Is there Riftbound Simulator online? There is a Riftbound Simulator online. You can also, pretty much everybody just kind of uses TCG Arena, is it? Yeah, everybody pretty much just uses TCG Arena. So if you guys do want to play these things, people use TCG Arena. You can pretty much use any. You can go to games here, and you guys can play Magic the Gathering, Lorcana, Star Wars, Ripbound, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Altered, Gundam card game. All these things you guys can pretty much play, I'm pretty sure. And I think most people pretty much just play Ripbound on here. If I add it to my games, all this stuff can happen, and I can go here, and I can go to play and public lobbies. How do I make my own lobby? Start a new game. Classic start. Play. Whoops. So you have to go here, click on Ripbound, and then click Ripbound, and then you'll like jump to it, and then you can start a new game. Continue, and then this is like how it looks. It's very bare minimum. I don't know why it's not letting me do this. What is happening? Okay, so this is like how it looks pretty much. And then your opponent is on the opposite side, and you can pretty much do what you want from here, and you know, go about it. Then you get your hand, and you can kind of, it's if you press pass, it will automatically do your draw card resources like this from the space bar, and kind of keep going on that way. But then you right click, go to like right click stuff to like make things work. You can also like click it to tap these things. and activate abilities and so on. Move things around if you want, like this. Okay, anyways, the best way to get into Riftbound, I say, is to pick a deck you want and just put your money into it, right? Now, if you're trying to play Riftbound and you want to buy booster boxes, or the new set is coming out and the cards that you want are from the new set, just like Gundam, it's going to be a lot cheaper for you to purchase the cards by themselves and build the deck that you want to play, not the deck that is the best in the metagame, because there's no way a Gundam player is going to be able to afford every single card in Riftbound, because everything is actually expensive. We don't pay $1 or 70 cents for an LR in Riftbound. We pay what the card is actually worth. So like Wing Zero is not going to be worth like $2 all of a sudden. It's always going to hold its value at like 30-40 bucks because it's a good card. Also, the booster boxes, is Jinx a good deck? Jinx is not a competitive deck, no. So the answer is going to be no. I wonder if we can find a like Riftbound meta tier list or something. Okay, so these are the post-ban game meta tier list. These are the best decks in the game. So just because something says tier 1, by the way, does not mean it is going to win the tournament like it would say in Gundam. Tier 2 are decks you're going to see very, very, very popular, like Wing Gundam, all these things, just like in Gundam. Blue-white blockers, Clan sometimes pops up, just other decks like One Year War. Very good. All these decks can compete against each other. It's just that this guy right here might be way stronger into most of them, but might be countered by, let's say, Emperor of the Sands. And these guys down here, for example, I'm going to show you. So Ezreal was a very expensive deck. Ezreal was a #1 deck in the game, but some of his cards got hit in recent times because he was a tier 1 deck, so he's dropped it down to tier 2. But he is still very, very powerful, and it's all skill based. So this entire tier list is all skill based. Jax, for example, was a deck that did win a regionals. So Jax did win a regionals, and he still ends up entering like the top tournaments and stuff like that. Leona might counter things like Kaisa a lot and stuff like that. Lucian was actually like a lower on the tier. Now he's like more in the top 5. Victor is a deck that all the competitive players kind of agree that Victor is a dog shit deck and Victor should never play. But this tier list is of course based on the metagame, right? It's based on the metagame. If you guys follow Rust TCG, his tier list is more so based on the metagame and his own feelings as well than just what is the strongest deck, right? Just going off of straight up, what do I think the best deck in the game is, whether it exists in the current format or not. So Victor, a lot of people would say Victor is actually like a tier 3 or tier 4 deck, where it's actually you should never lose to Victor if you're a very, very good player. Because yeah, of course Victor can very high roll you, but that's just how it is. So all these decks are like tier 4 right now, where you can play them. It's up to you if you want to play them. But it is what it is. I still play Lee Sin. And the difference between Lee Sin and Jax is not too much. But yeah. Then we have these tier 3 cards, all competitive. These ones are very competitive. These ones are the meta leaders, basically. But again, Irelia is not a deck that is like, it might be a tier 1 metagame leader where it's being played a lot. But it is like kind of like Wing, where this deck is being played a lot like Wing Gundam, but it never ends up winning a tournament. So like Irelia just simply is always in the metagame, but it doesn't actually end up winning the game. Where these decks might be like the O, where the O is a very powerful deck and can do pretty well, but it doesn't mean it's going to win the tournament. But it's definitely something you're going to see at tournaments. But a good pilot can make... Azir has won a tournament. Master Yi still wins tournaments. Ezreal's won. Sivir's done really, really well. Fiora still tops. Right? All these decks in top and at the NTC levels, these decks are very, very relevant because either the best players playing them or they're very, very good into like low skill players. And so you can really punish them very heavily. While these decks require more skill to play and understanding the matchups and sideboards and stuff like that. So it's harder for your average player to play them, but Victor's a lot easier for your average player because he has a lot of kill spells to control the game. I'm simming for her, but Victor looks cool too. Lol, what about LeBlanc? LeBlanc's coming on the next set, so if you guys don't know, the next set for Ripbound is coming out very, very soon. I believe they already have the booster boxes and stuff at some of the stores. Ripbound set 3. What is the set called? Unleashed, right? It enters in May. You can see here that people are already buying Ripbound products. There's also a bunch of new products that are coming out for this, which is Unleashed box, which is like the Magic the Gathering boxes with a bunch of booster packs in there and other stuff. A bunch of lands as well. Okay. Yeah, like Cosmix. The cards look very cool. They're always introducing new mechanics. They went from having the base core set to introducing gear, which are weapons, basically attachments, so you can do equipments, equip them to your units. Then they went into the new set, which has EXP system and Baron buff and Elder Dragon and big boss monsters that are available to be played in any color pretty much. And the whole XP system, so like now Master Yi has a whole XP system as a new Master Yi, and the set is not out yet. Like Baron Nashor is one of the endgame boss monsters in League of Legends. It's the buff that everybody's fighting over, and you can see that this card adds a third battlefield to the board. But it's a very, very good game. Very good game. The best way for me to get into it, if I was getting into it right now, what is Ari's playstyle? I kind of like her since LOR. Ari's playstyle is, yeah, lore accurate. He's trying to like level up and stuff. Victor's trying to summon tokens. Azir summons the Sand Soldiers. Ari Rip. I'll show you Ari, the card here. So Ari, right here, okay. Now this deck is very cheap, and I do tell you guys to like just play what you want in Ripbound and try to improve at it, and then look into one of those like tier 2, tier 1 decks that could only cost you like $100. Now, if you're gonna go deep into Ripbound, then I suggest that with the new set coming out, go buy booster boxes. Okay, one, because you want to open packs, you want to have fun. Number two, if that's the normal way you get into card games, right? If go buy booster boxes, yes, the booster boxes hold value. The booster boxes could give you a $5,000 card. They could give you multiple $100 cards. It is worth the investment actually to go buy booster boxes than it is to go buy singles if your goal is to make multiple decks, or if you're trying to like buy the booster box, get what you can get if it's an expensive card, and then sell the other expensive cards to get what you actually want. So Ari here, she pretty much is kind of a control, mid-range control type of deck, I would say, where she gives enemy units -1 to their power, and if you do hit 0 power in this game, you do immediately die. So it says a minimum of 1, so you reduce the power down to minimum of 1, and it can be really, really annoying because it's basically permanent, like the Academy base. Everything has -1 power, and then you can also interact with that on top of that. Then if you go to the other Ari cards, like Ari Inquisitive, this guy pretty says, when I attack or defend, enemy units should get -2. So that stacks with your legend. So now anybody who's trying to attack you is all of a sudden -3, and they need bigger units to interact with you. Otherwise, they're just not going to be able to. Right? So that's what Ari does over there, and then Ari over on this Ari. This Ari is all about holding the battlefield. So if you hold the battlefield, which is how you score points in the first to 8 wins, she gives you a bonus point. So you're playing the defensive control style where you're really trying to put your Ari onto the battlefield and then making sure your opponent's low units cannot interact with you. If they put a big unit onto it or they try to overcome you, you can interact with them like Unforeseen and many other cards that say, okay, I'm going to reduce your power even more. So it's more of a defensive style deck that ramps up on the scoreboard relatively quickly. You can look at these crazy alt arts. Signature, obviously you can see how expensive this card is. $2,700 right here. If you want to buy one of these, you can't even get them right now because they're sold out. So yeah, a signed version of this card is very, very expensive, but you can also get the normal version of it, which is $300. Okay, this is like a very expensive card. But yeah, the cards in this game are worth actual money. Okay, this one's also worth $2,000. Signed cards. These are your leader cards. You can also get the normal version of it, but this is like the most highest rarity. A normal alt art leader card is again 228. Yeah, so everything's very affordable, and everything is also very, very crazy expensive if you want max rarity or something, which I don't suggest you guys do that. But the decks are 100% affordable to get into, and it's why there's so many Aries. There's just alt arts. I fell in her with pick play art. That art looks amazing. Yeah, roger that. Debuff board control. Yeah, pretty much debuff board control, and then you have access to green and blue. I believe she was, which is like counter spells, and then blue's like disruption and AP reduction. But yeah, you guys will have to like go do your own. Like there's, go do your own research on what all the colors represent, what the new set has in store for us. There's lots of legends. Unlike Gundam, where they give you like 2 cards per deck, in Riftbound they literally give you 8 new legends every single set or more, which means you have 8 new playstyles. And they also have access to like a bunch of cards. And there's no like 2 GMs. They don't just reprint GMs. Every single card has text on it. Every single card does something. And if your deck is going to be more expensive, it's because you're missing like one card that might be $100, but your entire deck can 100% do its job without that $100 card. Because again, you might not draw it in some games. Are you going to play more? Yeah, I'll play more. I just have to get that out of the way. So I would 100% go into it by just spending money for singles. For the deck that you want to play, and then if you are going to dive deep into it, or your hero is in the new set, then just buy booster boxes and get into it that way. Thanks for explaining. I might get into it, but I have to learn the game first. Yeah, you can learn the game. This video's on in a bunch of stuff. I'm going to play more Diego. Let's play more Wing. Still winning with Wing. Am I out of water? I am out of water. Thanks, mate. Yeah, Ripbound is... Everybody who plays Ripbound likes it. If you guys hear anyone talking badly about Ripbound, you really do need to ask them why. And if you hear them say, oh, because they banned 7 cards in the first, like, set, right? As soon as the second set came out, they banned 7 cards. Don't just go off of them saying they banned 7 cards. You've got to ask them, like, number 1, what cards did they ban? Why did they ban those cards? And you're going to realize that 3 of those cards were battlefields, aka nobody cares. Literally. Battlefields are not cards in your deck. They're just battlefields that you play units to and they do something. So they banned that pretty much. 3 of them. There's like so many of them that doesn't matter. Another cards that they banned were either something that was too powerful, which we already knew, or they nerfed. They banned a card particularly in the tier 1 deck. Like Amuro, for example, but he'll come back in the future sets because, the game will evolve. Let's take out his shields here. I think I want to go super aggressive into him because he's playing CB. Of course, this plays... Actually, I should not have done this. My fault, because this plays directly into his first strike unit. My bad. We do have the bird mode to get rid of it though. But only criticism I heard is that the power creep in the game is pretty bad. Yeah, the power creep is... It's not that the power creep is pretty bad. It's that Ripbound is not afraid, as a game designer philosophy, they're not afraid to print powerful cards, because powerful cards means you get to have more fun. And if a card is too powerful, they can restrict or ban it. That's their philosophy. So unlike Gundam, where we're sitting here for like 10,000 years waiting for something to come out that will never come out, in Ripbound they say no, we'll put the card out there, and if it's too powerful, we'll find out. If it's really, really too powerful, we can ban it. There's always the ban button on a card. but there's so much interaction in the game and ways to play the game that, you know, something might not be completely broken. Okay, something can pretty much not be always broken, or there's an answers to everything because there's a sideboard, there's a best of 3. The sideboards make a big impact on the game and the way that the game is set up. So them introducing power creep, yeah, there's gonna be some power creep in other games as well, but there's always answers for that power creep essentially. Like they have kill spells at the cost of nothing. They have hidden cards. They have counter cards. They have counter spells. They have searchers, not searchers, but they have some really, really powerful abilities in the game. Like taking 2 or 3 turns in a row, really, really powerful. Making cards cost 0, really powerful. Playing the biggest, baddest boss monsters ever, really, really powerful. So, yeah. By the way, I played League since 2014, but through tutorial card to the opponent that looked too cringe. But through tutorial card to the opponent that looked too cringe. I don't know what that means. But through tutorial card to the opponent that took too cringe. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I want to get rid of the blocker right now. A Wing Gundam is probably acceptable to get rid of in this situation. Okay, you think CB-ish. BO3 is the future of Gundam, at least in more serious events. I hope. So far, all the events that Bandai wrote, I am using the LR Death Scythe. Bandai did, like, in their announcement for 2026 and 2027 regionals and so on, they did say that it's going to be a best of 1 format for all the new types and stuff like that, regionals. So unfortunately, we're still not in a best of 3. Obviously, there'll probably be a best of 3 in, like, nationals or top cut, whatever, but yeah. I'm using the LR Death Scythe. I'm also using the baby one because I can then link on turn. I can link quickly to deal with the aggro stuff. What do I want to do here? What do I want to do? I probably just want to play like 2 blockers and call it a day. Yeah, let's just play 2 blockers out, call it a day, slow him down. Hopefully I draw the LR Death Scythe. One of the reasons I'm not using 4 LR Death Scythes is because I only have 2 alt arts in real life, but also on top of that, because if we're going to our local metas currently, he used Bridge Crew, no big deal. If we're going to our current metas, and it's going to be a lot of like aggro for people trying to steal free wins, then it's probably a then we probably want to like favor trying to beat the aggro matchup rather than the blocker matchups. Kill, taking a hit. It's fine. Strike it back? Something? Nope, nothing. Okay, Death Scythe, Link. Take out this guy. What is he going to do? Sure. Okay, there's our hero Yui. We can kill this guy next turn. God. He's gonna go after the base with only 5 AP. That's fine by me. So the question is, it's not much of a question actually. We'll play this. Do I want to play the base or not? That's the thing. Do I want to play the base, or do I want to keep my HP higher? He's gonna breach me and kill this anyways. 7. I heal 3. I'll still die. Let's just get rid of it. Sure, no big deal. End the turn here. Wing is cool, but I'm trying to build a purple-white Minerva. Love recursion mechanics. Yep, purple-white Minerva, purple-red Minerva. Purple Minerva with purple. Lots of ways to play the Minerva package. Hopefully Minerva gets a couple more cards soon. I'm really looking forward to the SD Gundam set coming out in like a month. Because that might introduce a new mechanic to the game, which I'll be all for. Okay, so this thing can get rid of this guy, which is something that we can 100% accomplish here. Let's get rid of this dude. Our opponent is out of cards. We will proceed to play a Lifrith and end our turn. Some YouTubers think that Purple White Minerva is going to be tier 0, which I mean I obviously 100% disagree with, big time. But to each their own. I'm going to keep that base up for as long as possible. I could drop the 0 right now. I feel like there's no real reason to do so. In case you just try to play some like cheap units, I can destroy some of those guys. Okay. Let's play this. Do I want the duo onto it? Let's not give him a link. Let's end the turn there. He can breach my shields, of course. Okay, still fine. I think I'm dead. I'm very much... Actually, I'm not dead yet. I can take the hit, Suicide Death Scythe, and then keep the Lifrith around to block the level 8 G-Quux. Suicide here. Do I want to drop the wing 0 right now? The answer is probably like yes. Okay, let's see what he has. Sure. What is he going to do? Triple graceful demeanor. Holy. Bridge crew is fine. Swinging this at the shields is also acceptable. We might lose, but we also need to lower his HP as much as we can. I should probably go grab my phone from upstairs after this game. We're definitely not blocking that. Okay, we lose against the Link. That's what I mean, going from 0 cards to like 3 cards in hand is what Gundam does. What is messaging on Discord? Many people are messaging me. This is my D&D campaign. Baldur's Gate, what are y'all doing tomorrow night? Thursday, nothing. Tomorrow after work, nothing. Okay. I'm driving out, blah blah. Would you guys be able to meet tomorrow, 5:30 for a game or something? Game? Probably not. For me then, I'm probably not gonna make it on the radio at 4:15. Okay. Can you meet today? At 4:30? Well, looks like I'll probably, but yeah, I guess. Okay, well, I don't know. I'll probably just call it here then, guys. Sorry about the intrusion from the gentleman earlier. We got to see Wing perform a little bit here, quite well into mostly the aggro decks is what I was trying to show. 6 HP bases are the way to go if they're not going to play a bunch of pilots, especially the red-purple version. And if they want to kill a 6 HP base, they're going to have a Gundam Link or something crazy. And then Wing also is just really good into a lot of decks, like especially into Minerva. If people are going to play Minerva a lot, Wing 0 wipes the board and is one of the best ways to deal with them, because Minerva late game is very annoying and powerful with the resurrection effects, and Wing 0 is a great equalizer against them, especially their 4-2 units as well. If you guys want any coaching, just reach out to me at Coach Wing 0 on Discord. I'll probably come stream again later this week or upload a video and so on. Just thought I would do a stream here with you guys, and sorry about the stream going down earlier. My internet had gone down. So appreciate you guys being here, hanging out with me and chatting about Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Riftbound, Gundam, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. So peace.